Hello, friends. Welcome to a podcast unlike any other. I didn't want to play too much of that song
before they fucking sue us.
yeah, before they sue us, because we are by no means are we famous, but
they have a way of finding everything.
They have a way of finding everything. So here we are. It is officially Masters Week. As soon as the final putt went in the cup of the Valero Texas Open, we flipped the page and it's Masters Week.
Bro, as far as I'm concerned, when the Augusta National Women's Amateur is being played, that's the start.
Yeah.
Now, no, I'm not a fucking monster. I recorded it and watched it this morning. I didn't watch it live, but
yeah.
Anything regarding the Masters, like when they're on the grounds, anybody, I don't even care who, it's Masters Week. So Masters Week is now 9 days.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited. It's what we wait for every year. It's the best week of the year. Unfortunately, because I just started a new job, I will not be taking any days off. But in the past, I don't know what, for the past like 3-4 years, I take the Thursday, Friday off, or at least one of the days off. And then the other one, because of my last job, I've barely worked anyway. So, but I won't be able to do that this year, but I should still be able to catch most of it. So here we are. It's the Masters preview show. So obviously, if you're watching on YouTube, you see Ian McMillan is not here. I ended up not asking him because the more I thought about it, well, one, you could call me a huge bitch and say I got intimidated because he said he interviewed Will Zalatoris. And I was like, wow, that's kind of a big fucking deal. Like, we're just assholes. But that's a small piece of it. The bigger piece of it was I didn't want to pressure him to come on our show that would come out on a Monday when I know his show comes out on Wednesday or Wednesdays or Thursdays. I think he usually posts it Wednesday night. I didn't want him to blow his picks already on our show, which obviously, like I said, like we don't have the same amount of people that watch or listen to our show that watch his show, but still, like, I didn't want to, I don't know. I felt like I would save him the opportunity of saying no. More so because this time we would have asked him on for a very specific reason. Like, hey, let's do a Masters preview show. And like I said, where I know his show comes out on Wednesdays and this one would be out on Monday.
Is this the podcast that you're supposed to do with Graham Dillette? Or is it his video thing?
I don't know, to be totally honest.
Or are you talking about Bacon Bets? What is his show? What is his show? Because the only reason I ask is because I know he does video content for Bet-Sided, Fan-Sided.
Yep.
He does his own podcast.
Yep.
Bacon Bets. And he was supposed to do the other thing with Graham Dillette. Are you talking about Bacon Bets? Usually comes out on Wednesday?
Yeah, Bacon Bets comes out on Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know and the only reason I gave a shit is I was going to ask you what the name of his golf podcast was. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think that's come out yet.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Just checking.
No, but I know, like I said, like his picks for the Masters will be on the Bacon Bets podcast that comes out on Wednesday. So I would feel bad making him give us his picks for our show that comes out on Monday when his own show isn't going to come out until Wednesday. So I was like, that's fine. It's not like if we were just going to have him on to shoot the shit again, I would totally be like, hey man, you want to come on and dick around a little bit. But like I said, where it was specific to Masters picks, I said I didn't want him to prematurely ejaculate his picks.
So next time you don't have to think that hard because his picks are already out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he writes and when he writes, he gets those picks out as early as possible. So
right,
he could do a lot more. If he's gonna release a Bacon Bets episode, I would assume he'll probably recap the tournament. He'll probably go into his outrights, and then he might do some other stuff. I don't know if he'll do many exotics with golf, but
yeah. So the one thing I will say before we like hop into our picks and what's important at Augusta and things like that, because we're doing this early, right? Like it literally like the Valero Open just ended. At least when I looked, maybe a half hour ago, there are no odds for top 5, top 10, top 20. It's
Nope.
just outrights right now.
It also doesn't matter because for this, I'm only doing outrights anyway.
Yeah.
And it like I think a couple years ago, or it was before the COVID, before the Fall Masters, I think I had predicted a Tony Finau top 10, but I think I predicted it in fucking like August.
Yeah.
And I just remembered that and I said, I don't care what it is, just take it.
Yeah.
And then he finished T10.
Yep.
But luckily, no Tony Finau this year for me. Fuck him.
Yeah, so let's kind of get things rolling. So for anyone that doesn't know, the Masters is a big fucking deal. It's like the Super Bowl for golf. It's the most famous course, the most tried to get to, right?
It's like top two. It's top 2 most famous courses in the world.
With St. Andrews.
Yep. And if anyone disagrees with that, you're being a fucking hardo.
Yep.
Like if you try to tell me it's like Royal Melbourne, like you're an idiot. Like
yeah.
Or if it's Pebble, it's like maybe, but that's only because you're only saying that because Pebble's accessible. Augusta's not.
Right.
And that's the thing. The old course you can get on. Augusta you can't.
Right.
And I had to tell Michaela this today. The course is never open. After this tournament, they close until the fall.
That's wild.
I'm not kidding. They fucking close.
Yeah.
Until the fall.
So you can't even play there.
No. Well, in the fall you can. You get.
Well, yeah.
And the reason why is Bobby Jones, who was one of the founders, he wanted this to be a national course. Now, you don't need to know everything in the world about Bobby Jones. I don't want this to be a massive history lesson, but Bobby Jones is from Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was a member at East Lake, but not the course that it is now. I think there was some other course. I don't know. It's a whole fucking thing. So he was a member at East Lake, I believe. He went to school at Harvard. He went to Harvard for law, and he was a lawyer up here.
Local guy.
So there's plenty of. He has a massive, massive influence in the Boston area, or I would just say Massachusetts because it's not just Boston. So
it was a major influence on my life.
I feel terrible. So he used to practice at Franklin Park. I think it's the ball from his Grand Slam that he won in like 1930 is at Myopia near the bar.
Oh, wow.
And even back then, and maybe to this day, I'm not really sure. Probably not to this day. I think that's probably nuts. The Harvard polo team used to go to Myopia, and that's where they would do polo.
Yeah.
Or play or practice. I don't know what the fuck you do.
Ride.
Whatever.
Do you ride polo? Yeah.
Swing some polo.
Yeah.
So it's like he has there's another course he has something to do with, and I can't remember, but I know he used to practice at Franklin Park. You could generally find him at Myopia. And there's another one like in the area that I think you could find him too. So whatever. So moral of the story, he has an influence up here. So when he's founding or finding Augusta National, it's Augusta National. He wants it to be a national course. So people from the Northeast who are going to have the money to join this fucking place, they're not going to play in the summer. They can play up here. So they're going to come down and they're going to play at Augusta in the winter. So therefore, with the way the Masters tournament went, in the way that they keep that golf course, they fucking close it. Not only is it too fucking hot, but that's when they do all their modifications and whatever. So you can only play it in the winter, fall and winter.
Yeah.
Even if you are a member.
Yeah, which, I mean, what the fuck is the process like of becoming a member at Augusta?
Bro,
I would imagine it's harder than joining the FBI.
Yeah, they ask you.
Yeah, they come to you.
They'll come to you.
You don't go to them and ask to join.
We don't even know who members are.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like Condoleezza Rice. We know her. I assume the CEOs of IBM, AT&T, and Mercedes. I think Peyton Manning's a member. Other than that, though, there's no list.
Right.
There's no published record of
You
anything.
think Brady's
there.
a member?
No way. The country club wouldn't even let him in his fucking backyard. We had a fence shared with them. I mean, eventually they let him in, but no, they're not going to let him in.
Yeah.
They're going to look at him and be like, you're still playing. You fucking fuck off.
Right.
You wait.
So,
yeah. So I assume they have to ask you, and then you have to be sponsored by a few people. And then you have to pay a crazy ass amount of money to never play there.
Yeah. To play there like maybe once a year.
Yeah. But the people who play there, that doesn't matter.
Right.
Like, that's the thing. It's like, that's stupid. Why isn't the golf course ever open? Not the point.
No,
it's really not the point.
It's not the point.
You maybe take a week and play 5 times.
Right.
And like, that's what you get.
Yeah. That's what you pay your $20,000.
No one has any idea how much this shit costs.
It's gotta be at least $20,000.
So the only thing is,
membership.
It could be something like, so you got to remember this in, national memberships are kind of like this. They know you're not going to use the course. So trust me, you still pay, but it might not be as much as you think. Like, it might be a $250,000 initiation, which is, so that's the crazy part.
Right.
But then it's only 10 a year.
Yeah.
Knowing that these dudes only play it fucking less than 10 times.
Right.
And the Masters makes all their money. Augusta National makes all its money off the Masters.
Right.
They're not making money off of fucking dues.
Yeah. No, that's true too. Yeah. So that's the
They're
thing.
making it off TV, and so like I always
There's
joke
no
around
commercials.
Like, merch sales. That fucking pro shop must do so much fucking money in merch.
Oh yeah.
Like multiple $1 million in 4 days.
Yep. And my plug, if you will, or insight is that everything's reasonably priced in the pro shop. It's not like you're going in paying $40 for a hat. You go in and you pay $25 or $30 for a hat.
Yeah,
like I said before,
I don't know what the pro shop is. Yeah, so the pro shop I don't know anything about. I just know people fucking. So this is what type of place this is. If the pro shop has a service where you don't even need to leave the door with your merchandise to ship it home to yourself. You can ship anywhere.
Yeah.
From the Augusta National Pro Shop.
Yep.
Because dudes will pay thousands of dollars in merchandise. And they don't care. Give it away. Do whatever the fuck you want. Just don't resell it.
Right. Yeah, that's the only rule is you can't resell it.
Yep.
A lot of cease and desists go out on eBay.
Oh, they find you. And then you are banned for fucking life.
Yep. So, yeah. So like I said, the guy that I work with has been to the Masters 3 times. And I asked him last week before we took a break, because we're doing like work from home stuff this week. And he said the last time he went, I think, was 2016 or 2017. It was the year like someone random won.
So 2017 was Serge and 2016 was Danny Willett.
Serge. It was the Serge year.
So that's 2017. He beat Justin Rose in a playoff.
Yeah. So that's the last time he was there. But, like he was telling me, he was like, it's unbelievable. You go, and because I asked him too, and I was like, what's the merchandise like? Is it wicked expensive? And he goes, no, it's normal. Because the other thing too about Augusta is it's known that like their food and drink and everything is like dirt cheap, right? You get like everyone posts the pictures of the menu where it's like, the pimento sandwich is $1.50. You can get like a ham and cheese for like $2. Like whatever the thing is, the drinks are like $1, beers are like $3. Everything is super cheap. So I go, what's the merchandise like? And he goes, it's all reasonably priced. Cause I thought like, what is it, like $50 for a t-shirt? And he's like, nope, it's like anywhere between 20 and $30 for a t-shirt, or 25 and 35 for a t-shirt, whatever the going rate is normally. And then, 25 to $30 for hats and all that stuff. He was like, everything is like normally priced. So I was like,
Well,
all
even the dailies, they're not expensive. If you get the lottery, it's not expensive.
Yeah. Practice rounds are $75, and then the tournament rounds are like a 115 or something like that.
Something like that. They're not crazy.
Yeah.
Whereas like Super Bowl, you're paying at least 4 figures, probably 5, just to get a ticket.
Yeah.
Like if you get a ticket through like for face, it's probably 4 figures, and if you get it secondary, it's probably 5 usually.
Yeah. I think that's a fair assessment. So I don't know. It's fun. It's exciting. So do you want to, how do you want to do? You want to start and talk about like what stats are important?
What I went with?
Yeah.
So for tangible things, I've got approach play from 175 to 200, approach play from 150 to 175, strokes gained around the green, and driving distance. That's how I sorted my people, and it's weighted in that order. I also use intangible things, such as, for example, a lot of people like Scotty Scheffler this week. They really do. Well, Scotty Scheffler, at most, this is his 3rd Masters. It might be his 1st, might be his 2nd. I don't really know. He also has won 3 times this year. No one wins 4 times by April unless they're Tiger Woods. So Scotty Scheffler, in my book, not worth a bet. He also moved somewhere from like 40 to 1 to like 16 to 1. So that number got fucking crushed.
Yeah. Like I might have threw some schmeckles on him at 40 to 1.
Yeah.
But not at 16 to 1.
No. Matsuyama was not on my list because he won last year. It's very rare someone goes back to back.
He also has been dealing with injuries. Yeah, and he's not playing well lately.
Correct. So he's WD'd a couple times, but so like in my intangible things, I look at like how many times have they won this year? Have they ever won there before? Have they ever won a major? Have like who was another guy who's won twice this year? Cam Smith has. That fucking fucked me, but maybe no. Scheffler was Sam Burns. So it's Sam Burns. I liked Sam Burns until he won his last start. How often do dudes win back-to-back starts?
Yeah, so
it's very rare. So
Scotty
it's like
Scheffler has only played the Masters once in 2020. So that was the fall. So he's only played there in the fall.
Yeah.
And he finished 19th.
So I'd be very wary of an outright on Scotty Scheffler based on experience and based on the fact that he's already won 3 times this year. Yeah. And he will be another back-to-back start guy.
Yep.
So it's very rare people win back-to-back starts. Even he hasn't done. He's won 3 and 5, and it's not back-to-back. Right. I don't think. No, I definitely don't think so. Last year's winner, I ruled them out. So, and then after that, it's, whatever. It is what it is. After that, it's just like my regular picking.
Yeah. No, so also looking at it, Scheffler has done every other. So starting with,
I like him. So I like him in the PGA.
So at the waste management, he obviously won. And then his following event was T7. And then his following event was one at the API. And then his following event was the Players at T55. And then his following event at the World Golf was the match play. So he's won every other.
Yeah, every other. So even him, who's the fucking hottest player in the world, is not doing it. I also rule out John Rahm because he is number one odds, and at 8 to 1, not only is it not likely that the favorite wins, it's also not fun to bet at fucking 8 to 1 because I got like 10. I have like 9 or 10 guys. So
yeah,
betting an 8 to 1, I still lose money.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Exactly. So, I looked at a bunch of different things. So some of these have some overlap in them too, right? So I looked at, I'll group the ones to start. Strokes gained approach. So just overall there. Um, Proximity to the hole from the fairway, which I think is important at Augusta because obviously, people forget the greens. The greens are tough there. There's a lot of
greens are fast.
Yeah, it's a lot of undulation. So it's more important than just greens in regulation is proximity to the hole, because you can hit the green, but if you're 40 feet from the cup, you're probably going to three putt. Like just being fair, like you're probably going to three putt that.
And to clarify, so the stats that I went are they're not well, I don't think I can find strokes gained from certain distances. They are proximity from the fairway. And the reason I like using proximity from the fairway is well, at Augusta, there isn't a ton of rough or first cut. And
right.
If someone's not playing, or if someone's really, really good from the rough, do I really want that person? Because that means off the tee, they're probably not great.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to Corey Connors is one.
Yep.
He is like ridiculous, like ranks. He is ridiculous in proximity from the rough, in like very, very mediocre from the fairway. It's like, oh, stick, dude.
Yeah. Hey, cool, man. So again, the three that are kind of like grouped into one little grouping were the strokes gained approach, proximity to the hole from the fairway, and then green in regulation I went 150 to 175. You did 175 to 120.
So I did
to 200. Sorry.
Yeah. So 150, 175 was my second category.
Okay. So we have a little overlap there. So those three are like very similar. There's some overlap. Like it's kind of looking at the same stuff, right? It's looking at your approach to the green. So those are those three. And then also I have scrambling in there because that's going to be important when you inevitably miss the green. How good are you at scrambling? And then also the other one I have there is 3-putt avoidance. So just looking at guys who don't really 3-putt ever, which the whole point of like not 3-putting ever doesn't really mean much to me, but it's almost like a transitive stat where I look at it like, well, if you don't 3-putt that often, that means you're probably a pretty good lag putter. So that's more important. Like, because there's no statistic on lag putting, at least that I can find, 3-putt avoidance to me kind of like almost substitutes that. It's close enough.
So strokes gained putting covers lag putting. But strokes gained putting, there's just not a lot you can do with, because the best strokes gained putters are not the best finishers.
And then also, and I guess you could potentially make this argument that you could break down 3-putt avoidance into this also, but strokes gained putting is all of strokes gained on all putting surfaces, where Augusta is bent grass and it's fucking lightning fast. So like I said, like you could make the same argument that I just did for the 3-putt avoidance. Like, okay, well, how good are people at 3-putt avoidance on Bermuda and bent grass? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like that type of stuff.
Yeah.
You could, if you wanted to nickel and dime me there, I would, I would at least let you have the argument.
Yeah. And I could so you can nickel and dime all these stats. Cause then it's like, yeah, whatever.
But the way I looked at it was I'm more interested in the 3-putt avoidance, because that'll kill you here.
Tell you right now, if you're ripping 3 putts all around, you're not doing shit. You're not winning. That's fucking for damn sure.
So those were like the 5 main stats that I kind of looked at. And then I also threw in ball striking, obviously, because that's important here. And then strokes gained tee to green, which
ball striking as measured by what?
Ball striking is,
or is it a category somewhere?
Yeah, it's on PGAtour.com.
They literally have they have a stat called ball striking.
Yep. So it says here, ball striking is computed by totaling a player's rank in both total driving and greens in regulation.
Okay.
So it gives
that's not awful.
it gives them their rank in total driving, their rank in GUR, and then it adds them together. And then obviously whoever has the lowest number
that's all right.
is ranked higher.
That's a decent stat. That's not strokes gained. Obviously, like I'm very, very partial to strokes gained. And then that being said, I only you know what? I actually use 2 because after I do the 4 categories I gave you, I'm not taking anybody unless their strokes gained total is good for this year.
Right.
So I guess I use 2 strokes gained and then 2 others.
Yep. And then, so again, like I said, strokes gained T to green, because that's just a given, right? Like you're not gonna, but that's the strokes gained T to green was more of one like what you just said. Like that's more of like a filter one. Like if I saw a guy that I liked, I wasn't going to take him unless his strokes gained T to green was like at least respectable, you know?
Yeah. So like I'll give you an example. For my 2022 before I stopped doing it. Emiliano Grillo actually had some decent numbers, but his strokes gained total is 136 this year.
Oh God.
So despite having decent numbers, he's really fucking it all up somewhere.
Yeah.
in fairness, what number wasn't very good? He had a number that sucked. Is that around the green? Okay, so his around the green isn't great, so I wouldn't have taken him for that reason. But yeah, then like his strokes gained total 136. It's like, okay, I have no use for that.
Right.
You're playing like shit this year.
Yeah. So shall we get into the picks?
Yeah. Well,
right.
I'm gonna start with the one I did in January, and that's Cam Smith 30-1.
Right.
So I took him 30-1 after, I think it was after he won the Tournament of Champions.
Yes.
And I figured that, and actually, I think it was like I looked on MyBookie and DraftKings already dropped like 25, 28. So I'm like, fuck it. Let me take 30 now because it's a better number. And he does play well there. He has the course experience. So I just rolled with it because I didn't do any data at that point because I didn't want to. I mean, it was only one event and I didn't want to use the fall stuff. So I didn't break any numbers down. I just went experience. I went the fact that he won, and his number is now like 16 to 1.
Yeah.
So I got him in the holster, and it turns out, where is my sheet? It turns out that I probably would have taken him anyway because his approach play ranks 19th, 15th. He's 21st around the greens. He's 110th in driving distance, which is not great, but I'm not holding that really against him. And he's second in strokes gained total this year. So I'm happy I got him at 30.
Yeah. I think that was a good get, especially like you said, especially now. Well, also on mybookie.com, shout out to MyBookie. Use our promo code Sarcasm Pod when you sign up. Double your first deposit up to $1,000. So on mybookie.com currently, Cam Smith is down to a plus 1475. So
right,
he's dropped even lower. He's even lower than 16 to 1.
So you followed me on that one, right?
Yes, I did. I tailed you right there.
So I also took Justin Rose 50 to 1. And the only reason the reason I did is because I was driving through New Hampshire and I was on DraftKings and I have money in a DraftKings account.
No free ads.
I'm never in New Hampshire. Yeah. So I just took him, almost just took him blind.
Yeah.
I have no data or numbers or reasons why anyone should follow me on that. Outside of course history. Again, it was a little bit of a function of I was driving through New Hampshire and I wanted to put something in.
Yeah.
So I did. So the rest of my picks are actual picks that I did numbers for. And I did all of these actually at Twin River or Bally's, whatever the fuck it is now.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's still Twin River. It's Bally's at Twin River, I think.
Yeah, something like that. Which you can now smoke again in there.
Oh, hey.
Credit to them. So I did the rest of my bets in person. That was part of my plan because I knew I had money from the Super Bowl. So I wanted to, it was like $40 from the Super Bowl. So I wanted to just throw it all in on Masters outrights because why not? Let me just pull up because I just tweeted out on Sarcasm Speak. That's where I have the picks I actually took. Okay. Justin Thomas, 14-1. That's a low number, but he is my favorite player to perform well. So now we can pretty much guess that he's going to be threatening the cut because I think he's far and away better than everybody else in the field. He plays well enough there, and at least he's got enough exposures to it. So I would actually almost consider hedging out with him missing the cut because I believe in my curses that strongly. Cam Smith, like I talked about, I took Zalatoris 35-1. He played well there last year.
Yep.
He's 11th in strokes gained total this year, and most of his categories are pretty good for here. They're not great, and I don't like the his yippee putter. I don't like that. I don't like that one bit.
Yeah,
but basically what it came down to was I think he's playing well enough this year. He hits the ball far enough. He played well there last year. And I mean, he's a decade guy. So like, that's a thing, but like all these guys, most of these guys are decade guys now. I just didn't want to not have him on the card. So it's like, I don't love him, but I didn't want to not have him.
He's one of those guys, like if he goes out and wins, you're like, what the fuck? Like,
right.
Yeah.
Now, I don't do that completely because otherwise I would have Spieth and Koepka. Those would be guys that literally you would just take just to have because Spieth always plays well there and Koepka is a beast in the majors. But neither of those guys popped up for me. So, or Koepka's up there, but he's 90th in strokes gained total this year. So he'll turn it on when he shows up, but he's not playing well.
Right. He has not played well so far this year. Maybe he shouldn't have switched to Strixon.
Who the fuck knows? Maybe you should give a shit. Start there.
Yeah.
Berger, 40-1. He has been very good this year. He's going to be getting to the point. He is going to be what Shoffley is to Ian McMillan will be Berger to me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bet on him so many times that I will like when I hit one, it will not pay off for the past.
Yeah.
Which we're still good because he's 40-1. And after Chris fucking mushed me on that fucking Saturday at the Honda, I'm still fucking pissed. Never mind if you hear me sound like shit. I gave him my blessing to go on a golf trip. He gets me sick the week of that golf trip and then fucking skips town.
Yeah. Awesome.
Fucking cunt. Cunty Chris. Where's Berger?
For what it's worth, Daniel Berger is ranked number 1 in scrambling right now.
Yeah, so around the green, he's 10th. Distance isn't great, but you know why I took Berger? Because I actually did a statistical breakdown. I did 2021 before I did 2022 because I didn't want to rule somebody out because their early season didn't match who they are as a player. So Daniel Berger last year on the tour from 175 to 200 and then 150 to 175, he was ranked 5th and then 16th. That's fucking elite.
Yeah. Yeah.
This year, he's 202 and 61.
Oh, wow.
So this year isn't going well
Right.
from those two categories.
Right.
But he as a player is better than he is playing this year,
Right.
which is something I wanted to make sure I took into account. Now, I wasn't going to go back multiple years, but I did want to look at last year because that's a full year of profiling. So that can tell me who these players are.
Yep.
Whereas this year can show me how they're doing. So I'm taking him 40-1. And I think the 40 is because of how he is. I think he should be closer to 25.
Yeah.
And I think if he was
we're getting good value.
And I think if he was 5th and 16th this year, even Chris's mush wouldn't have fucking mattered. And he would have won the Honda.
Right. Right.
So that's why I'm on Berger. Was his last year, his categories were really good. So he's underperforming this year. Fuck, I don't have a strokes gain total because he's a little bit down my list. But I know that he's been playing pretty good this year. Maybe strokes gain total, maybe he's like top 30 or so, but probably not top 20, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's been right there a couple times. So I got Berger 40-1. Next, and you've talked about this, Lowry.
Yeah, my guy.
So this is a bad value bet, but I took him because you got him at 64.
Yes, I did.
I was only able to get him at 45.
Okay.
Now, I was expecting to get him at 58, but he dropped from 58 to 45 in one day, and I wasn't in Rhode Island. So whoever powers Rhode Island Sportsbook apparently took some Shane Lowry.
Yeah.
So now this is a thing in betting. We don't live in a state where betting is legal. It's hard for us to have multiple outs. And when you're choosing to do something, you're kind of stuck with what you get.
Yeah.
So I didn't take Lowry on my bookie when it was 64-1 because I knew I was going to be going to Twin River. And I said, I'll just do it then. And if he is to win, I would lose out on 19 positions, I guess. 19-1 on the payout. So
19 pieces of units.
Yes. Depending on whatever. Yeah. So I guess if it was a 1 unit bet, which it won't be, it'll be a quarter. That's why I'm not doing the math. Basically I would lose out on 5 units or so because it's a quarter and it's almost 20-1. So
yeah.
Just under 5 units less on the payout there.
Yeah.
Following, this is another guy I like. So if you want to hedge it out with a miss the cut, which I might actually do because that would be pretty fucking fun. Neiman. I like Joaquin Neiman.
Okay.
This year, 16th from 175 to 200, 25th from 150 to 175, 6th around the greens, 52 in distance, 17 strokes gain total. That is a fucking crazy stat line. Now, why is he 45-1? Because those numbers are borderline better than almost anybody else. He just definitely does not have the experience here.
Right.
So whether he has 1 or 2 under his belt, would normally scare me off of actually taking him, but he has a win this year and those numbers are too good to ignore. Like they're too good not to take a guy at 45-1 there.
Right.
Again, that's another one where him and Berger probably should be higher. But Neiman's number is lower because that'll be due to experience.
So
course history.
I got him up right here. This is only his second Masters. He played here last year in 2021 and he finished 40th.
Yep. So that's a problem. Like in terms of an actual expectation to win. But now I don't know how to do the probability math, but when someone's 45-1.
Oh, right. Like what are the odds? Yeah. Is that like a 3.8% chance that he's going to win?
Whatever it is. But at 45-1, so it's not likely that he is to win.
Right.
But his statistics say otherwise. So like that's why I actually really like the Neiman pick.
Yeah. All right, I'll take him to miss the cut.
Yeah, I would. Rose, I talked about. Leash. I'm on Leash, 65. Course history, good. He generally does pretty good in not only majors, but also major venues like the Farmers. Why do I like him?
And he's an Aussie. Or is he a
Uh,
Kiwi?
he's an Aussie. Strokes gained total this year, he is 21st, so he is playing well. He's good from 175 to 200. Where the fuck is he? You know what? I might have just taken him because he's 65 to 1. No, truthfully, um I think I took him because he's 65 to 1. He has played well there before, so he has the experience, because experience actually matters at this place. It doesn't
Yeah.
always matter. So that's why I keep saying experience. Sometimes I throw course history right out the fucking window because it don't fucking matter.
No.
And it's like people like Morikawa, like if they're not good enough, it's like, oh, no course history. It's like, don't matter. He's fucking good enough. He hits the ball better than everybody. He was first and first last year. I just didn't take him this year because his number sucks. I'm gonna throw in a Morikawa. I'm gonna do it.
I mean,
what's he at? Are you on him?
yeah.
What's he at?
He is
18?
1550 on mybookie.com.
Yeah, that number sucks.
It does.
Yeah, that's why I'm not on him. Maybe I'll wait. I won't be waiting.
I wonder what he is on my other book that I will not say because no free ads. Let me see as I look this up how quickly it'll actually work.
Well, either way, you look him up. I got one more. Gary Woodland. So Gary Woodland, I liked a lot more when he was 110 to 1. I got him at 80 because, again, that's just what I've got. Like, I don't have all these outs. It's not legal here. I don't have 8, 10 options. I have 2 unless I drive to. So I have 2, whether I'm in New Hampshire or I go to Rhode Island. So I use my bookie. I could have another offshore if I wanted to, but I don't see the point because I was doing some shopping and none of them were fucking crazy better than the other. If I go to Rhode Island, I have another route. If I go to New Hampshire, I have another route. I don't often go to New Hampshire. Whatever. So Gary Woodland, I took him at 80 because I was there. There's nothing that really jumps off the page with him. There really isn't. He is just very like across the line. He's not really good in one category and really shitty in another. He is just like probably, I don't know if I want to call it average, because the hard part, like, so he ranks like 90th in something, right? But the difference in proximity from 90th to 60th is like a couple feet, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's hard to say like what the average is, because the average could be anywhere ranked from fucking 60th to 90th or something. But so I don't hate him for his categories, and he's 35th strokes gained total this year. He had a good finish, and this was before this weekend. He had a good finish again today. And he has a major win before. So he's played there a bunch. He has a major. So I took a long shot on someone of that profile.
Yeah. It's usually fun just to make a long shot bet, just because it's cool. It's cool to like see if, because inevitably Gary Woodland will be kicking around, right? Because he does play pretty well at Augusta.
I mean, like that's the thing with him is I almost feel like his odds to top 10 or miss the cut are the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's like you really never know with him.
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised either.
Like major winner, has the experience, has played, but you just never fucking know sometimes.
Yeah.
Hits the ball plenty far still.
Yeah. So actually, that was a Vinny fact. Gary Woodland's going back in his Masters tournament history, starting with 2020, he missed the cut. So then going back from 2020, finished 32nd, cut, 26th, withdraw, 24th in 2011.
Yeah, it's not awesome.
No.
So truthfully, I didn't take, again, so this is where course history and experience are two different things. I didn't take him for course history. I took him for experience. He knows the
Yeah.
place.
Yeah. But it's funny though that I just pulled like an NFL announcer move
Yeah.
where I was like, oh yeah, Gary Woodland, like he always plays well at Augusta. No,
nope, he actually never does.
he's actually missed the cut 4 times
Actually,
in
I
his
guess
last five visits.
three top 40s is okay. Yeah, I just for him, I like his form now. I know none of that matters, but I like his form now. Again, 110 got my attention. He's a former major winner, and I know he's older, but he's not that old.
Yeah.
So that's why I went with him.
Yeah. And then so on my other book that I use that shall remain unnamed, Colin Morikawa is at 12-1. So my bookie's actually giving him better odds.
So that's why I'm not on Colin Morikawa. Is he was too? So he must be like this. You know what? He's probably 4th. Where does it go? Rom.
He's 8th on this other book.
Really?
Who's
so
on my bookie?
Who are the top? So if he's 8th, who's the top 8?
All right. So I switched back to my bookie.
That's
so
fine.
It's John Rahm, JT, Scotty Scheffler, Cam Smith, DJ, Rory, then Morikawa. So he's 7th on my bookie.
Okay.
He's 8th on the other book.
That means they probably threw Koepka ahead of him. Who's right after him on my bookie?
Koepka.
Yeah.
Oh no, okay. Sorry. Spieth.
Yeah.
Spieth. I'm switching back and forth.
Yep. Yeah. All right.
They're all right around 16. So on my bookie, Morikawa is 15-5. Spieth is 16-25 and Bruce is 17-25. And then on this other book, Morikawa is 12-1. Spieth is also 12-1. Bruce is 16-1. DJ's 14-1. So they're all kind of like
the only other reason I don't like Morikawa, and again, I still might throw $5 in on him.
I think I'm gonna, because he's been putting way better.
Yeah. So
his downfall has been his putting. And now this season, he's been putting great.
And generally, when he wins, it's slow greens.
Yeah.
And it's West Coast POA generally.
Right.
So that concerns me.
But I forget. They always put the graphic up in every tournament he's in.
No, he's like 4th in strokes gained putting.
Yeah, year. Like last season, strokes gained putting, he was like 114th. And now this season he's like 4th.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a drastic difference.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing is, like, if you're trying to figure out, like, if you actually are like still listening to us, you actually have to have a clue about golf. So with him, so in order for your, like, because the way strokes gained works, in order for your strokes gained putting to suck, your lag putts don't get close enough, and then you don't make enough putts in like the 4 to 8 foot range or so. So like that means, like, so when you lag putt, basically if you can get anything inside of like 3 feet, you're gonna gain strokes on that lag putt. Assuming it's of like any actual distance, because I think statistically 22 feet has an average hole out of 2.0. So anything inside, you're going to lose strokes no matter what. Anything outside, you'll gain strokes by getting it down in 2. Now, to a fault, he's so good with his irons that he's going to hit into proximities that he quite literally cannot make putts from. Like, it's so statistically poor that he's going to make those putts that he's going to lose strokes on it.
Right.
But we've also seen him miss some of those, like, gotta have ones. So
right.
That's the problem. And, to this point, he's only had 2020, which was a COVID. All right. He had this. So after college graduation, 2019, he did win the Barracuda. Then that gave him his tour card, I think. Yeah, that gave him his tour card. Then he had the COVID year, and then he had all of last year. So to this point, his strokes gained has been awful, but you're mixing in a half season, a COVID year, and then one full season. So
Right.
we don't know what he is. If he was 167 last year and he ends up top 10 this year, then who the fuck knows? But I
He
just
finished
noticed
18th last year, and then I think 40th in 2020.
Yeah, I just noticed a trend of, when the greens would have been slower then. I just noticed a trend of his putting generally is better on slower or bumpier greens.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Actually, I can look up how he putted. You're gonna gotta take a second, but
yeah, I mean, I can jump into my picks.
yeah,
So-
because those are mine.
So I think you've convinced me to take Colin Morikawa. So I'm probably going to throw at least $5 on him at plus 1550. So you can toss that on my list too. I'll add him in here so I remember to add it to my thing.
I'll pull up his strokes gained putting for last. You said he finished T18.
18. Yeah, I'll write 18th. It doesn't matter, but yeah, 18th.
Yeah, so he only lost 0.14 on the green last year. So that's really not a bad putting performance.
No. All right. So my first guy on the list was Cam Smith, right? We already talked about that. I tailed you on that one. I got him at 30-1 also. So I think we got some pretty solid value there. And then you already talked about everything with him. So we're good on that. My next guy is Shane Lowry. Again, like you said, I fired this off. I got him at 64-1. Let's see what he is right now on mybookie.com.
Probably 50.
He's 52. Yeah, 52-1
right.
on mybookie.com. And he was 40.
I got him at 45.
45.
It's just
in Rhode Island.
That's what I was stuck with.
Yeah. So
bad value, but yeah, like I told you, the only reason he won't win will come down to his short game.
Yeah,
it leaves a little to be desired.
Yeah, it does. But looking at some of his stats, so in proximity to the hole proximity to the hole from the fairway, he ranks 5th on tour currently.
He's also and I know you didn't use the stat, I think he's 9th from 175 to 200.
Yeah, it could be. In 3-putt avoidance, he's 7th on tour. He only has 5 3-putts all season.
Confirmed 9th.
Yeah, so he's 9th in
175 to 200.
175 to 200.
And he's also 9th in strokes gained total this year.
Yeah. He's 44th in 150 to 175. So that's still pretty good, right? It's pretty much top 50. Top 60 is good. Top 50 is pretty good.
You think a cut line is 70. So if you're inside of 70, that's usually pretty fucking good.
Right. And the way I looked at it too is there's let me see.
215,
there's 210. Yeah, there's probably there's 210 guys listed here, but then there's a lot of guys that haven't played enough to register in here.
Stats.
So there's probably 225 guys on tour. So if you rank in the top 75, that's the top 25%. So, because some people might hear oh, Shane Lowry ranks 44th in approach from 150 to 175. Yeah, it's 44th is pretty fucking good. I mean, it's not top 10, but that's still good especially when you factor in that he's 7th in proximity. He's 7th in, or he's 5th in proximity. He's 7th in 3-putt avoidance. He's 9th in 175 to 200. I mean, I like him. He's 14th in strokes gained approach total. So let me see what he is in tee to green, actually. Strokes gained tee to green, he's 25th. So he's been playing well recently. I like this. I forget was it after the Honda or the Arnold Palmer?
I forget. It was the whatever event he was competing in.
Yeah, it might have been the Honda.
He didn't compete in the Valspar, did he, against Sam Burns?
Yeah, he did. He was kicking around.
Yes.
Let's see.
No, I don't think it was the Honda, dude. I think it was because he did well there. I think you might have said it either after Bay Hill, the Players, or the Valspar. It was one of the other Florida events.
Okay.
Because the Honda was a little while ago now.
Yeah, well, he finished second. He finished second at the Honda.
Yes, but I think you said it after one of the other Florida
yeah, he was
events.
T13 at the Players, T12 at the Valspar.
Yeah, so he played well at both of those events.
Yeah. So,
yeah, so
it was one of those things, like the way everything was going, he's playing well.
Yeah, you probably took him 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, and I liked it. Like at the time, like I said, like I was like, I think I said, because I texted you and Jones in our group text, and I was like, call me fucking crazy, but yeah. I think I'm going to toss in a bet on Shane Lowry at 64.
Yeah, that's the other thing though, is 64. Like if you had told me he's 32, I would have been like, dude, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, 64. Fuck it.
So I like that one a lot. I
still took him at 45.
Yeah. So, I also took Will Zalatoris for the reasons that you mentioned. And also he finished second last year, his first Masters ever. He just, as a rookie, he just rolls out and finishes outright second at the Masters. So, I mean, I guess here's an incoming miscut now for him. Now that we're both on him and now I'm talking highly of him, he'll go out and shoot a 78 in the first round. But I think, like I said, he's one of those guys where like you can't not take him. And at 33-1, it's one of those, like if he did win, you'd be like, wow, you'd kick yourself. You'd be like, what a fucking idiot. Like that. I tried to get too cute there and was like, oh no, I wouldn't take him. So Will Zalatoris, he's on the list at 33-1. Next, I also have Justin Thomas for the exact same reason that you said, right? Like it's JT. He's one of the best all-around golfers in the world.
And he's actually playing like it right now.
He's playing very well right now.
He's second strokes gained total right now.
Yeah. So I know it's kind of short odds at 14-1, but it's 14-1 for like the guy that's arguably the best player in the world right now, or playing like the best player in the world. I know he's not, world golf number one, but his game right now is playing like he is the best. So I got to take him just cause, and he's also fun. Like he's the guy that's fun to watch. He's fun to root for, right? Like I'm not going to invoke the name of Eldrick here, but
he's friends with. Oh, dude, he's friends with.
He's friends with him. Yeah, because everyone always compares JT.
Oh yeah, no. He played a practice. He played a practice round with them on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And it's Tiger taught him everything he knows.
But JT's just fun, right? Like he's a cool guy. Like he doesn't take himself too seriously. He's really fucking good. Like he's easy to root for, right? Like I look at a guy like John Rahm, where John Rahm is very fucking good. As far as talent goes, he might be one of the most. He's the most talented on tour, but he's not easy to root for. Like, at least in my opinion,
he's a Euro bum.
He's a European guy. Like, I don't know. He's gotten a little bit better about like his fucking explosiveness. Not that I care too much about that. I'm not an old fuddy-duddy, but like, it's like, all right, dude, you made a bad shot. You're going to like flip out and start throwing your fucking clubs. Like people make bad shots all the time. It's golf.
The issue with his deal is he's more of a whiner.
Yes.
Whereas Tyrrell Hatton's more of a psycho.
Yes. Yeah. That's the perfect way to put it.
So he whines more than because Tyrrell Hatton flips out. He'll throw a putter in the water, whatever. He doesn't give a shit. He'll snap stuff in half.
Yeah.
Fucking flip out.
Or Matt Jones did that didn't he do that in the tournament?
He threw his putter in the fucking ocean.
He goes, I'm fucking done with this thing. And threw his putter in the lake.
But yeah, it's like where Hatton's a fucking hothead. Rahm whines. He's kind of a little bitch about it.
Yeah. So that's you nailed it. Spot on. So JT again is that he's fun to root for. So I took him just because I want to root for him. So now I have an actual interest in rooting for him. And then the next guy I have is Patrick Cantlay. So I got him at 20-1, which I think is pretty good, all things considered. I don't think that I'm not going to be like I don't think it's a Shane Lowry pick where I got like tons of good value on it, but I'm kind of surprised to see Cantlay at 20-1. He might, I would have thought he'd be more around like 16. But he's been playing really well. Like let me see. I had him pulled up earlier and I left his screen to look up someone else. So now I have to go back and search his shit. But
he's 16th in strokes gained total this year.
Yeah. So, I mean, he leaves a little bit to be desired in
his approach
game.
Suspect.
So his approach from 150 to 175 is 58th, which again, it's pretty good. But his proximity to the hole is 169. So that's not great. 169th in proximity to the hole from the fairway. However, in 3-putt avoidance, he ranks 4th. So again, I'm doing a little bit of extrapolation here. If you look at someone who's mediocre at best, right, his proximity to the hole from the fairway is 169th. That's not good. So his approach play, he doesn't hit the ball close to the hole. However, his 3-putt avoidance, he ranks 4th on tour. He only has 5 3-putts. So
it's a good matchup.
Right. What that tells me is that he's a fantastic lag putter. Right? Like he's not, because he doesn't hit the ball close to the pin, but he doesn't 3-putt.
And strokes gained or on the green, he's 15th. So if he's missing greens because his proximity is poor, then he's getting up and down pretty well.
And he also ranks 12th in scrambling. So, like I said, I did a little bit of extrapolation there to get to Cantlay.
Yeah, but you need to do that sometimes because you got to paint the picture of it's the same thing. So he's the opposite because his strokes gain approach is not good. And his 2 approach categories that I picked, they're fucking bad.
Yeah.
But why is he 16th this year, strokes gained total? Well, his approach play isn't good, but he doesn't 3-putt. His approach play is, he's away from the cup, but he gets up and down a lot. Like, also, I don't know if I'm in the middle of watching the ejection right now, but Jennifer Kupcho is really fucking limping her way to the to the end. It's the first women's major where they jump in the pond if the winner jumps. The winner jumps in the pond.
Oh, nice.
And I have just seen her really just like limp her way in.
So then also Cantlay this season, starting with the Century Tournament of Champions, he's only played in 3, 6, 7. He's only played in 7 events. So starting with the Tournament of Champions, he finished 4th, 9th, T4, 2, T33, missed a cut at the Players, and then T26 at the match play.
Yeah,
he's playing well. And then also his course history, he finished 17th in 2019, 9th in 2020. And then did he not play here in 2021?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes PGA Tour.com, their stats get a little funky. But in the times he's played here, he's finished 17th, 9th, and then further back, he missed the cut and finished 47th. But in his last 2 events here, 17 and 9. So he has a little bit of the history. He's playing very well right now. He's also a sociopath, right? Like he's like, they always talk about that in the broadcast. Like he never gets too high. He never gets too low. He doesn't show any emotion. And like, I think you need that for this course, right? Like you need to be able to be like, all right, well, I'll get it back in the next one, or like, you know what I mean? Like you can't. This is a course that will fuck with you, and if you're a mental case, like it will bend you over. So I like Can't Lay there at 20-1. The next guy, this was a little bit of a stretch. I mean, I guess by odds wise, it's Shane Lowry is the highest guy that I had at 64-1, but I took Matt Fitzpatrick
50
at 49-1.
Yeah.
So he is like sneaky good. So just looking at his stats, he is 14th in strokes gained approach. He's 14th in strokes gained around the green. He's 5th in strokes gained tee to green. I'm just looking at his page, but he's 20th in strokes gained putting. He's 31st in strokes gained off the tee. He's at first, the number one guy on tour in strokes gained total.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the number one guy in strokes gained total, and he's 49-1. I'll take it. You know what I mean? Like
that's quite literally what Ian picked him to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That was part of it. He goes, "You're going to give me the number one in strokes gained total at 50-1."
Yeah, like cool. So that's cool.
Doesn't mean he's going to win.
Me and Ian are on the same page there.
Yeah, doesn't mean he's going to win, but it's a good bet.
Right. So he ranks. Now this is where it gets a little whatever, but he ranks 109 in proximity to the hole. However, if we go to putting, well, he also ranks 4th in scrambling. So if we go to his putting, his 3-putt avoidance is 147th. So if he doesn't win, it's going to be because of his putting. So now this is the example. I did the extrapolation for Cantlay. If you do the extrapolation here, this would be like, I don't know, because what did I say he was in proximity? So proximity to the hole, he ranks 109th. So that's like very average. That's very average. And then his 3-putt avoidance is 147th, which is a little bit below average.
Not a great matchup.
So not a great matchup here. So I took him outright at 49-1. Depending on what his odds are, I might take him for a top 10 or a top 20 also. Again, depending on what it is. Like if it's if his top 10 is like plus 250, I'm not going to waste my time.
It should be around that.
Yeah.
Because I think, wait, what'd you say is top 10 or top 20?
Depending on what the odds are, I might take him for either one. Like, I don't know. I'll have to look and see which one I like better.
I want to say that it's not a rule, but it's a guideline. I think maybe top 5, cut it in half. So he'd be like 2,500 to finish top 5.
Okay.
Which top 10, I don't know if
somewhere around 12-1.
Yeah, maybe 12-1 again.
I would do that. I would take him top 10 at 12-1.
I don't know if it's exact. You know what? Maybe it's not exactly that.
That's 5 to win 60, right?
12-1 top 5. But he's sick. That's the thing. He's 50-1.
Yeah.
Like that number doesn't make sense to me, but he's 50-1.
Yeah.
Like I just took Johnny Vegas this week in the Valero, who was close to 50-1, I think, or 40-1, or I don't even know.
Yeah.
I don't know what I take anymore.
Yeah. So
yeah, because top 10's hard. That's
yeah.
1 stroke out of 11th.
Yeah. So again, Matt Fitzpatrick is the guy. Like I said, I have him at outright 49-1, but I think I'm gonna like him better as a top 10 bet, especially if it's around 12-1. I would do that. Another guy I like, I'm not gonna take him outright. But the top 10 bets haven't come out yet. So is Webb Simpson. So I'm gonna put a top 10 bet in on Webb Simpson. Just because he's another guy that he always plays well at Augusta.
Does he actually though?
I don't know. Now you got me.
Well, I was gonna say not like because that was my guy you said that for. Oh, Gary Woodland. Yeah, he always plays well there. Does he though?
I don't know. I'm gonna find out right now because now you got me all nervous. Oh yeah, yeah. So in 2020 he finished 10th outright. 2019 he was 5th. 18 was 20th. He missed the cut in 17, but then going back he was 29, 28. So for some reason they split the 2021. He finished 2020. He finished 12th in 2021. So going back in his last three, he's gone 12, 10, 5, and then 20 the year before that. So he's got the history there. He plays well. Let me see. He ranked well on some of this stuff too. He's T26 in proximity to the to the cup from the fairway. God, that was hard to say. So he's 30th in hitting the green from 150 to 175. His 3-putt avoidance, let's find out what that is. So his 3-putt avoidance is T110. So average. But he's T26 at proximity to the hole. So it's like that would be the opposite, kind of opposite of like the whole Cantlay Fitzpatrick thing. Like he's pretty good at hitting it close. But he also is not good at avoiding 3-putts though. But theoretically, if you hit it close, you shouldn't 3-putt, but it's Augusta. So who knows? But that's also why I'm just going to bet him to finish top 10. So again, those odds haven't come out yet, but I will be taking Webb Simpson top 10. And then just for fun, again, this hasn't come out yet, but again, it's going to depend on what the odds are.
Who did you say? You said Webb Simpson. Who is your Matt Fitzpatrick?
Matt Fitzpatrick.
I'll go look it up at a competitor.
So then this is my last one. Just for fun, again, the odds haven't come out yet, but depending on what they are, I'm going to take Matt Wolff to miss the cut.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
So I just don't think he has it.
Do you have any actual numbers to do that?
Matt Wolff?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking
because I know he's not playing well right now.
No, he's not.
And I don't think he putts well.
No. So in his last couple events, he's gone T60, missed the cut, T61, missed the cut, 64, missed the cut. He finished T11 at the Hewlett Packard Houston Open. He finished T5 at Mayakoba, and then second outright in Shriners. But those three events
are fall events.
Those 3 events that I just said were fall events. So in the calendar year of 2022, he has played 6 events and missed the cut 3 times. And then in the 3 events that he didn't miss the cut, he finished somewhere in the 60s. So
top 10 for who's the better player you said? Fitzpatrick, 4-1.
Fitzpatrick.
He's 4-1 top 10.
Okay.
And
Webb Simpson was the other one.
He is 7-1 top 10.
That's not bad. I like that.
So I think if you have like so if you want like a general like math, if you ever need to predict, just to have an idea, I think you take their outright number, divide it by 4. That's a top 5. Split that in half for top 10. And I don't have any top 20s here. So,
okay. That's all right. So then Matt Wolff has played at the Masters twice. He got DQ'd last year in 2021, and then he missed the cut in 2020. So this is one of those where, like, if the odds come out for him to miss the cut and it's like -110, I'm not going to do it. But if I get plus odds on Matt Wolf to miss the cut, I'm going to take it. So that's mostly just like a fun one. But I can pull up some other stats. So
I don't know if that's, so my only question is, I don't know if that's going to be offered.
Yeah.
Because my bookie generally only posts the top golfers to miss the cut.
Yeah. So the other
plus
book,
money.
The other book that I use typically has a miss the cut thing for a little bit more people. So it's a tentative thing, right? If I can find it, and if the odds are plus odds, I will take it. But yeah, he is not good. Not good right now. He's 26th in strokes gained putting, but he's 168th in strokes gained tee to green. He's 193rd in strokes gained approach. He's almost dead last, 205th in proximity to the hole.
Pretty good.
Yeah. He is 187th in scrambling. He is 30th in 3-putt avoidance, though. So his putting, the only thing he's done well so far this season is putting. He's 26th in strokes gained putting, 12th in total putting, 30th in 3-point avoidance. But everything else is absolute dog shit. So Matt Wolf to miss the cut. Now that we've gone through all of that, do we talk about Eldrick? I think we have to, right?
Yeah, I mean, it won't take long. I mean, I think he's gonna play. He's there.
Yeah, he's gonna. That's what I said. So earlier, shout out to Nick, by the way. I was sitting with Nick earlier. We were talking about it, and I go, I think he's gonna play, right? Like he wouldn't be there if he wasn't gonna play. Because he already went last week. He flew down last Tuesday, walked the course, played 18, played a full practice round, flew back home. Again, we talked about it in one of our last episodes, or I think the last episode, actually. Now he's back again, practicing. And he sent out a tweet earlier today that said, I'm here, I'm practicing. It's going to be a game time decision about whether or not I go out there. But I'm pretty sure I'm like 90% sure he's going to play. All of the tweets of the people that actually do golf coverage said that he looked great on the range. I saw a couple tweets that were really funny, that it's exactly what we talked about in the last episode. Someone, I think it might have been Justin Ray, one of the golf guys that I follow, was like, it's really funny hearing people talk about how good Tiger looks on the range when he goes, did you really think Tiger Woods was going to show up to the Masters and shoot a 76 or 77 and then just go home? Like, it's Tiger fucking Woods. And that's exactly what we said in the last episode. We were like, he played that practice round. If he thinks he can go out and be competitive, he's going to play. But if he thinks he can go out and the best he can do is a 76, he's not going to play. Like, he's not going to waste his fucking time. He's not going to embarrass himself and go out, And what I said to Nick too was, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes out on Friday and shoots a 69, but then backs that up with like a 74. I'm sorry, he goes out on Thursday, shoots a 69, backs it up with a 74 on Friday, and then misses the cut.
Please, he's not going to shoot 69 in the first round. He never does.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, if he goes out and plays well, I don't expect him to make the cut. This basically is what I'm saying. Like, I think if he makes the cut and he kicks around, I think that's a huge win. If he makes it to the weekend. I think it's absolutely ridiculous that his odds are 45-1. He has the same odds as Shane Lowry.
Guess what they were at in Rhode Island?
30.
Yep.
Yeah.
30 exactly.
Yep. Yeah, I believe it. It's just so dumb. It's so dumb.
You're telling me, because now I know this isn't how this works. It's a function of the money.
Mm-hmm.
So you're telling me that Tiger Woods at 30-1 is more likely to win the Masters than Berger at 40, Neiman at 45, Lowry anywhere from 45 to 64,
Will Zalatoris at 30,
35.
who finished second last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People, keep your money.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
This isn't the year to take them.
No, it's not. So what do you think? What are your expectations? What do you think is going to happen? Like, do you think he makes the cut? Do you think, like, give me a rundown?
Genuinely, so I think so we know he's there because he's there today. This is Sunday. So he's there. He was there Tuesday, went home, went back. So theoretically, he's healthy enough to play.
Right.
I think that if he's going to bother to be there, we're looking at top 35. I think he makes the cut. I wouldn't even be surprised, dude, if he even makes. I don't expect it, but I wouldn't be surprised if he makes a threat at some point.
That would be fucking insane.
And a threat doesn't mean like takes the lead.
Right.
But, you know,
he goes like, low one day.
Is 3 back going into 15 or something.
Right. Right.
On like a Saturday, whatever. It's like, dude, I don't think he'll be in contention, but I don't think he'd play if he wasn't sure of his ability to at least give it a legit run.
Yeah.
Because you don't care about anything else except winning at this point. And if he didn't think he could win, he wouldn't be there.
No, especially like at this point in his career, like all he has to do is like show up for the majors and like the big events. Like go to the players, show up for the majors. Oh, the 5 majors.
He hates the play. He sucks at the players. He's not going to go there. It's too hard. He'll go to Bay Hill.
Then go to Bay Hill. Maybe play the Memorial.
Yeah, he'll play Jack's tournament.
He'll play like the, like the big ones. Maybe I mean he theoretically wouldn't be eligible then for the playoffs, like at least outside of the first round if he only plays like you know what I mean. But it's not like he could just show up and play Eastlake. No. But I think at this point in his career, we might only get him for anywhere between 5 to 10 tournaments a season, which is fine. If you figure 4 of those are the majors, and then he picks, 3 to 5 other events to play throughout the season.
And they're going to be electric.
Yeah. Yeah. He's going to play the Travelers. We'll go see him in Connecticut.
Well, I think Jennifer Kupcho did not eject.
Oh, good.
She was up by 1 million.
She going to run into the pond?
Yeah, she's getting ready. Or she got to go sign her scorecard and then she'll jump in the pond. Yeah, dude. It's very rare that he misses the cut at Augusta or finishes outside of like top 30. So
yeah,
I have no reason to expect otherwise if he's there.
I wonder what this would be absolutely ridiculous. I mean, if he's, what did I say? What is he? 35 to 1. He's 45. So if he's 45 to 1, his odds to finish top 20 would just be stupid. Cause that would be a bet. Like
offered.
Yeah, you take Tiger top 20. Like that would be a fun bet to follow.
Yeah, it'll probably only be 2 to 1 though.
Yeah, and I mean, is it really worth it at that point? Probably not.
Depends.
Yeah,
I don't think it's if you really want to bet with your heart for Eldrick, go ahead, man. But like, he should be fucking 200 to 1.
Oh yeah, easily.
Guy shattered his leg 14 months ago and hasn't played competitively since.
Yep.
Understood he's the best of all time, but
he's also 47, 46, 47.
I don't know how old he is anymore. He might be 46. He did mention wanting to beat Jack's record of being old and winning.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like Michael Jordan, he could just be motivated to fucking be older than Jack.
Yeah.
But
he wouldn't be the oldest to win any event. He wants to be the oldest to win a major.
the Masters specifically.
the
I think
Masters, yeah.
Boros, Julius Boros was like, he was old when he won a US Open.
I was going to say
51.
Phil just won, and he's
Oh
like
yeah,
50,
Phil's probably the
52.
oldest. He's 51.
Yeah,
He was
51,
51 when he
52.
won last year. So
Yeah,
Phil's probably the oldest to win the major now.
yeah.
I think it was Boros before that.
Yeah.
And then Jack is the oldest to win the Masters.
Yeah. So, well, you want to start wrapping it? Well, I guess, we can wrap this up, right? We're done. No more picks.
Nope, no more picks.
All right. What do you got?
I don't know. Where's my stupid sheet? I wrote something down I wanted to talk about.
All right.
Oh. Did you watch Moon Knight?
I did.
So I don't need to talk about Moon Knight because it's only episode 1 and I'm done talking about shows after episode 1.
Yeah, especially with Marvel.
Yeah, I was saying.
we have buried so many shows, so many Marvel shows after episode 1. We're like, this thing's fucking stupid. Yeah. Maybe it'll change. I'm sure it'll change, whatever, but it's fucking dumb. I'm done making predictions from one episode of a fucking TV show from Marvel.
Yep. Plus, I actually am very interested after the first episode. So anyway, so without spoiling, if you want to know nothing about this show, then shut this shit off. But so this is inconsequential to the plot of the first episode. So at one point, one of the Egyptian gods is mentioned, and the guy, I think it's Ethan Hawke.
Yes. So
Ethan Hawke's character mentions, oh, well, if this god was still around, there'd be no Hitler, no something, no Armenian genocide, whatever.
Yeah.
Basically, because this god would have stopped any and all evil or whatever the fuck, something like that. So I, as I do after I watch anything, I don't know who Moon Knight is. I don't know from the comics. I don't know shit. So I usually look up a couple random things and I always end up on like people's comments, whatever. And I find out that Moon Knight was review bombed because they mentioned the Armenian genocide.
Yeah.
And it's getting review bombed for bringing up a historical event that never happened.
Oh, God.
So in 2022, we are still doing this.
Goddamn fucking Turks. Oh,
so
it didn't happen.
So, yeah. So I guess, how many countries are in the world? Do you know?
273.
Do you know how many recognize the Armenian genocide?
Oh, God. It's got to be like 3.
33.
Yeah.
And it's really only like the civilized nations. I don't know if anyone went to Africa and asked, like, hey, do you guys think this happened? And they were like, fuck, man, we don't know. Like, we got our own shit over here.
We're busy fighting a fucking civil war.
Yeah, we have our own fucking problems. Yeah. We don't care about what's happening with any white people and any of their bullshit. So I won't say it's 33 out of 200, whatever, but
yeah.
Only 33 countries acknowledge that the Armenian genocide exists. And it's been review bombed about that very thing. Oh, I can't believe they're trying to bring this up again. Oh, I can't believe that they're going to talk about something that never happened. And to that, I say, go fuck yourselves.
Yes.
It happened.
It for sure happened.
Yep, it did.
We grew up with people that were Armenian that talked about it.
Yep.
I had a friend when I was growing up in middle school and high school that would always run around and say, fuck the Turks. And I never understood what it meant until I actually asked him and was like, oh, wow, really? And he was like, yeah, fuck the Turks. And I was like, all right, I got it. And now that I got older and I learned a little bit more about it, I'm on board. Fuck the Turks.
It's just wild that we can sit here and just like say, or we, not me and you, people can talk about a historical event and just say it didn't happen. Yeah,
it's not the same thing, but it's a similar thing to the Holocaust deniers, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot harder to deny that, 10 million people were fucking murdered. than it is like, I don't know how many,
I don't
if it was
either.
just hundreds of thousands or million, it doesn't matter, right? It still happened and it's still terrible. Um, but it's a lot harder to deny that 10 million people were murdered than it is, whatever, hundreds of thousands or like 1 or 2 million. However many Armenians were murdered in that genocide. But it's, people do that too. People still think the Holocaust wasn't real. And we're like, you're fucking stupid. Like, you're just dumb.
Just mind blowing. And then like the reviews go to that. And trust me, the reviews aren't in, a bunch of words that we don't understand, like in Turkish,
Right.
or it's not in different characters that we don't know. They're in
Right.
fucking English.
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, it's like, why Turkey? Like, I don't know. I don't know anything. Didn't Turkey go bankrupt?
Could have been. I know Greece went bankrupt.
Greece. Okay, maybe it wasn't Turkey. Is like Turkey like a legit country? Like,
yeah, they're a nuclear country too.
Okay, so maybe that's why people side with them, because the reason it's only 33 is because a lot of these countries don't want to piss off Turkey by saying, "Oh yeah, no, it happened."
Yeah.
And it's like, I was trying to figure that part out. Now, I easily could have figured, it's going to be harder to Google, like, is Turkey a real country than, get the answers I want. Because that's a fucking bad way to put it.
Well, it's like a borderline real country. I mean, it was like the Ottoman Empire until like, I don't know, like 12 years ago.
How does Yugoslavia fit into this?
It's like the one thing, that's the one thing I remember from history class when everyone said the Roman Empire was like the longest standing empire at like 272 years or whatever it was. And they're like, actually, the Ottoman Empire lasted until like 1920. So no, not quite.
They're also responsible for daylight savings, fucking assholes.
Yeah, yeah. So the Ottoman Empire is essentially Turkey. Like, it became Turkey.
Yeah. All right.
There's a lot of cool, like, I guess, cool shit there, but like Constantinople is now
Istanbul.
Yeah. So there's a lot of historical shit that went down in Turkey, the Crusades and all that bullshit. But I think whatever, we make shit up here all the time anyway. I think it's Muslim. I think they're a Muslim country.
Like, well, I think that was part of the Armenian genocide too, was like the religious aspect of it.
Right. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure that Turkey is a Muslim country. So I don't know.
I don't either.
Yeah. But yeah, Moonlight sucks because they talked about the Armenian genocide. Yep, got it. Okay,
cool. Yeah, they're pushing their agenda.
Yeah, not because the first episode didn't make any sense. It's because they mentioned the Armenian genocide. Yeah, got it.
Yeah, they're pushing their Marvel and Disney are pushing their agenda again.
Yeah, exactly.
The Armenian genocide truthers.
Yeah. All right, so my final thought is actually similar in the world of entertainment. Amy and I went to go see that movie Uncharted on Friday night with Tom Holland, and it's actually about a video game that I thought I had played the video game. And when I went to go see the movie, I'm like, I don't know any of this. I was like, oh, I used to love this video game. Come to find out, the video game that I was talking about that I used to play, I actually used to play it on the computer, was Far Cry, not Uncharted. So
those sound like different games.
Yeah, they're different games. But so I didn't know anything about the movie going in other than it was based off of the video game series. All things considered, it was pretty good. It wasn't one of those like, oh my God, that's so awesome, like I can't wait for the next one. But I thought Tom Holland was really good in it, which was big for him. Nick and I were, and Amy and their mom were talking about it, earlier when we were all sitting down, being like, it was big for Tom Holland because it's really his first big role after Spider-Man. And I thought he did really well. I think it's pretty clear that he's a legit actor, and he actually can be a lead in a movie that's not a superhero movie. So That's cool because I like Tom Holland. Like I think he's pretty good. Like just cool in general. Um, my only drawback or the only thing I didn't really like about the movie was Mark Wahlberg is in it. And the character that Mark Wahlberg plays, it didn't fit. Like, I feel like it wasn't the right casting. So again, I knew nothing about the video game going in, but just in the setting of the movie, like the way the movie played out, and like Mark Wahlberg is supposed to be this like older guy that like comes in and like does whatever. And I just watching the movie, I'm like, I feel like Mark Wahlberg is way too young. Like I know in real life, he's probably like 50 at this point, but he doesn't look it. So like the character, like it just didn't fit. You know what I mean? Like when you watch a movie and like the way the roles are casted, like sometimes it just doesn't fit. And you're like, I can't suspend disbelief for this. I mean, like this is just weird. And it was hard because I feel like it should have been someone else. Like it should have been someone that was at least had gray hair, that looked old, because he's supposed to be this like old guy that comes in to like mentor Tom Holland's character and like kind of like push him and prod him. And I don't know, it was just, which is weird because I don't hate Mark Wahlberg. I don't think he's super talented, but I used to love Mark. I used to be all about it, but then some of the movies he's done have not been super awesome. But I don't hate Mark Wahlberg. I just think it was a bad job casting. It was almost one of those like, it's almost like they weren't sure they could get the movie done. So they needed to like attach a big name to it in order to get funding. So they're like, who can we get? They're like, oh, Mark Wahlberg, he'll get funding. And then that's kind of like how they did it. But it just felt forced. I mean, like it was not a good role for him. And I can't even really think of like who would have been better for it. But I don't know, like Amy said Bruce Willis, which I think would have been decent. Not now because, you know, he doesn't remember things.
Not acting anymore.
Yeah, he doesn't remember things anymore. But, you know, so because I know that's happened before with Wahlberg, the Marcus Luttrell story, that movie Lone Survivor. There was the movie studios, no one wanted to make it. No one wanted to make that movie, and it couldn't get funding. So Mark Wahlberg heard about the story and was like, this is an amazing story. So he attached himself to it and like pushed it through the studios so it would get funded and get made. So basically the only reason why Lone Survivor got made was because of Mark Wahlberg. So that's pretty cool. But, you know, which is also kind of why he got a lot of shit for that, because Marcus Luttrell in real life is a fucking huge guy. And Mark Wahlberg is not. Mark Wahlberg is probably like my size, but he made it work and he got the movie made. So it's whatever. But it felt like that's almost like the situation that they got themselves in, where they were like, we need someone that's going to sell this movie because we don't know if Tom Holland can do it. And so they got Wahlberg. But I don't know. It was a fine movie. I probably wouldn't recommend, like us sitting here right now. I wouldn't be like, oh, dude, you should go see Uncharted.
Good, I'm probably not.
Yeah. But if it's ever on TV or like if it goes to streaming and you wanted to watch it, sure. But like, I'm not going to be like, dude, you got to go to the movie theater and pay $22 to watch this thing. I would just wait and then maybe never watch it if you don't want to.
I probably won't.
Yeah. So that's going to do it for us, friends. So thank you to grillyourassoff.com. I was like, I was about to say my bookie again because we usually do them first, but we already did them. So grillyourassoff.com, go there. Whatever you buy, seasonings, accoutrements, pickles, barbecue sauce, anything you get over there, use our promo code Sarcasm Pod. It'll get you 15% off every single time you check out. Multi-use coupon at grillyourassoff.com. Love those guys. Thank you for watching, listening, wherever you're at. Again, thumbs up, like, subscribe, tell everybody you know about the show. You can get us on Instagram at Sarcasm Speaks Pod. We're on Twitter at Sarcasm_speaks. The Facebook page is Sarcasm Speaks. So until next time, enjoy your Masters Week, everybody. It's here.